The eruption took place towards the end of the summer of 1730 on the evening of the 1st of September. The events that then followed were recorded in the manuscripts of an excellent witness, the priest of Jajce, Don Andres Lorenzo Corbello, who wrote, "Between 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening, the ground suddenly opened up near Timanfaya, 2 leagues from Jajce. During the first night, an enormous mountain arose out of the bowels of the earth. The flames which came out of its apex went on burning for 19 days. This signaled the beginning of the most important period of volcanic activity in the history of the Canary Islands. It lasted for 6 years with phases of varying intensity, during which streams of molten lava registering 800 degrees centigrade and enormous showers of ashes destroyed every last vestige of life." That the fires in the volcanoes were dying out, new fissures opened up and the eruptions regained their former intensity. This was recorded by the priest of Jajce as follows. On the 18th of October 1730, 3 new openings formed on top of Santa Catalina and from other outlets, from which thick smoke emerges, spreading over the entire island. At the same time, huge quantities of lava and ash are scattered over the surrounding countryside. The explosions that followed this phenomenon, together with the intense darkness produced by masses of ashes and smoke covering the whole island, caused the inhabitants of Jajce to take flight several times. And now, almost 3 centuries later, life pulsates in the midst of the seas of lava and continues to expand. More than 800 species of animal life and plants have been noted within its confines, mostly terrestrial, but some in the sea. Organisms that live directly on the rocks are birds, lizards, and above all, various species of lichens, besides some unusual nocturnal insects that feed on microscopic particles carried by the wind. The principal characteristic of this eruption was the immense fluidity of its lavas, and in particular the jets of boiling hot salty water which were projected from the craters for several days in the form of enormous geysers, reaching heights of 30 meters.
Wat kan je vlammen? Saulier.
Kein echtes Feuer.
I feel like Ali, dat was het.
Das heißt, die Vertretung, die Leipziger bei den Kanälen sind die schon vorbei da. Der Herr ist schon verlaufen und der Leiter ist schon weiter.
Je pense qu'il faut qu'il y en ait deux grosses américaines.
Ganda lang. Mira, mira.
Esto seguro que con espeleología.
Pero ahora solo hay una piscina. ¿Ya va a traer?
Sezonlular topraklar. Bueno, pues luego lo pondrías, te vas contentos.
Men vi har haft lite höjerlöj. Har jag sagt så? Men det är så som man röstar.
Hay que esperar que vengan unos agua dentro. Pero viene.
Dobra, ale taj koji kupe, ja sam ti rekla.
Thank you.